Just thank you for this opportunity to speak with you this morning. I've been asked to speak on the topic of sleep this morning. If you've ever been a student of mine, you've heard me talk about the importance of sleep before, how sleep is a good thing and that we all need more of it. So, let me ask you this. Why is it that in our culture here, this country, that we have such a negative attitude when it comes to sleep? As a child, you might remember your parents saying something to you on Saturday morning while you're in bed, saying things like, hey, get out of bed, there's things that you need to be doing. You're going to just sleep your life away. Go help your dad, clean out the garage, go mow the lawn. Why are you just sleeping so much? So, in our culture, at a young age, we are taught that sleeping is bad. Sleeping is a bad thing. It's a negative thing. If you sleep too much, you're lazy. If you sleep too much, you're being irresponsible. You're being unproductive. But this morning, I want us to look at sleep from a biological perspective. The human body is an incredible piece of machinery. Would you agree with that? Cells, the fundamental unit of life, come together to make tissues. Tissues come together to make organs. Organs come together to form organ systems. And organ systems come together to make this incredible human body. But let's say that we get a little bit dehydrated. Maybe it's a hot day, maybe we've just finished running 5 miles, maybe we've done a strenuous workout, and we're a little dehydrated. So when our body gets a little dehydrated, there's this little tiny organ in our brain called the hypothalamus. It's a very important organ, but it detects this dehydration. And it activates our thirst mechanism and tells us that we need a drink. So we go and find some water, or Gatorade, or Mountain Dew. Some of you got that right. And we rehydrate. And now the hypothalamus is happy. We're not thirsty anymore. Same thing with food. When our body needs fuel, when it needs energy, to run this incredible piece of machinery, it tells the hypothalamus that we're hungry, and we go find food. We eat, and now we're not hungry anymore. Same thing with emptying our bladder. When our bladder fills with urine, when it starts to stretch, our brain gets a message that we need to empty our bladder, and we start looking for a bathroom. So our bodies are very good at giving us messages, sending us signals, warning us when things are needed. So we listen to our bodies. But when it comes to sleep, and our body is screaming at us that we need sleep, then it's like, oh, you're just being lazy. Cowboy up. Sleep is for wimps. There's work to do. You can sleep when you're dead. Am I right? But how twisted is that? We don't say that to other bodily needs. We don't say, you lazy bum, you're just going to the bathroom too much. America needs to change its attitude about sleep. Sleep is good. Sleep is when you restore. Sleep is when you rejuvenate. Sleep is when your body heals. Sleep is your friend. So there's been a lot of talk about growth hormone in the news lately. Athletes taking growth hormone to build bigger muscle mass and all the legalities, all the ethics surrounding that. But did you know that growth hormone is highest during sleep. The pituitary gland, this little gland, just below the hypothalamus, but it makes growth hormone. And growth hormone levels are highest during sleep. Growth hormone is important to us for a lot of reasons. But there's two main things growth hormone does that athletes like. Most of you are athletes, and you'd be interested in this. Number one, growth hormone builds muscle mass. Growth hormone makes your muscles bigger. It doesn't make more muscle cells, but it makes the muscle cells that you do have bigger. That's a good thing, right? And the second thing growth hormone does that athletes like is it turns your body from burning fat for energy. It turns your body from burning protein for energy to fat. It tells your body, let's burn fat instead of protein. And athletes like that. So if you're an athlete and you want to maximize growth hormone that your body naturally makes, and since growth hormone is secreted more during sleep, why would you want to diminish the amount of growth hormone you could naturally get by cutting your sleep short? Sleep is a good thing. It's a healthy thing. Another thing that occurs during sleep is that our brains get washed. Sleep is when your brain gets a bath. Cerebral spinal fluid covers the brain, it covers the spinal cord, it circulates around, and this cerebral spinal fluid, it bathes, it flows, it washes your brain and spinal cord. It rinses the extracellular spaces of toxins, it rinses of waste products. It gets rid of products of inflammation and other things that can be harmful to a healthy, functioning brain. And when do you think this washing effect, the flow of this cerebral spinal fluid is the highest? It's when you're sleeping. So when we sleep, it's like the brain has a chance to take a bath and clean up. So how about academically? Can sleep help us do better in school? Actually, it can. From imaging studies like PET scans, we've learned that some parts of the brain are actually more active during sleep. Neuroscience is telling us that memory is being consolidated during sleep. That while we're sleeping, memory is being transferred from short-term storage into long-term storage. Neuroscience is also suggesting that information is being processed and integrated while we sleep. Perhaps we can think about it this way. So throughout our day, we will have experiences. We'll be learning things, we'll be making memories. So at the end of the day, we have all these documents, all these documents on our desk. And while we're sleeping, each of these documents, each of these memories, each of these experiences we've had, each of these